Travel the gorgeous Northwest United States and Canadian Rockies on this dream getaway. From Lake Superior to Vancouver shores of the Salish Sea, experience the wonders of nature and more. Journey across the Midwest into Minnesota, where we cruise lovely Lake Superior. Drive through Fond du Lac Indian Reservation lands en route to North Dakota. Get a peek at pioneer lifestyle at Frontier Village and National Buffalo Museum. Explore the state capital of Bismarck. In Theodore Roosevelt National Park, experience natural wonders and historic landmarks. Visit the impressive Pompey's Pillared National Historic Landmark, where Captain Clark inscribed his name in the rock formation overlooking the Yellowstone River. Learn about Lewis and Clark's journey at the Visitor Center. Venture to Butte, Montana, where a local guide shows us the sights in this historic mining town. You will be in awe at the sights of Glacier National Park. Embark on a JAMA ride through the park, watching for the hundreds of species of animals who call GNP home. Cross the Canadian border and stop at head-smashed-in Buffalo Jump World Heritage Site. Here we learn about one of the world's oldest hunting practices on the North American plains. Arrive in Calgary, Alberta, and ride to the top of Calgary Tower for a view that is unforgettable. Tour the highlights of the largest city in Alberta with stops at Olympic Park, Fort Calgary, and more. Explore Banff National Park, Canada's first and world's third in the heart of the Canadian Rocky Mountains. Visit the Jewel of the Rockies and one of the most photographed spots in the world, Fairmont Chateau, Lake Louise. Travel through Yoho National Park, a land of jagged peaks and roaring rivers, on our way to Glacier National Park in picturesque British Columbia. Stop at Rogers Pass Discovery Center in the heart of the park. Get up close with nature at British Columbia Wildlife Park in Kamloops. We'll see cougars, moose, bears, timber wolves, and more. Experience the exhilarating Hell's Gate air tram as you travel above Fraser River with awe-inspiring views. Enjoy our stay in Vancouver, one of Canada's most ethnically diverse cities. A professional guide takes us on a tour of the city, including Stanley Park, the waterfront, Chinatown, and more. Ride to the top of the Vancouver Lookout for a remarkable view of the city. Board a ferry and cruise to Victoria, where a local guide takes us on a tour of this charming provincial capital. View the stately downtown, the remnants of Fort Victoria, and Craigdarroch Castle. Take in the beauty of flowers, statues, and more at Butchart Gardens, one of the world's premier show gardens. Cruise across the Strait of Juan de Fuca and through the beautiful islands of Puget Sound to Seattle, Washington. A professional guide leads our tour of the sights of the Emerald City. Enjoy the sunset over Puget Sound from the top of the Space Needle. At North Fork Survivor Center in Toutle, Washington, hear about how the eruption of Mount St. Helens killed Bigfoot and the resulting mudslide buried a new home. Arrive in Portland, Oregon with time at the breathtaking International Rose Test Garden, where there are thousands of blooms. Experience the power of Multnomah Falls, the highlight of any trip through the Columbia River Gorge. Learn about salmon, trout, and more at Bonneville Fish Hatchery. Travel through rustic Idaho en route to Salt Lake City. A local guide leads us on a tour of the city, including the state capitol building and Temple Square, with its imposing temple and tabernacle. In Cheyenne, Wyoming, enjoy an amazing meal and the sights at Terry Bison Ranch, home to 2,500 head of American bison. On our journey homeward, learn about a simpler life at the Amana colonies in Iowa. Germans settled here in the 1850s and lived a self-sustained communal life for 80 years. Arrive home with wonderful memories of our fascinating excursion to the Northwest and the Canadian Rockies. Call your sales representative at 1-800-345-3435 or visit goanderson.com.